shut and it's going to lock. Trace, would you just stand there and open the door just a little bit? All right, we will call the subcommittee on Senate Study Bill 3024 to order. This, just a little description, which I know all of you have probably been prepped on this and kind of understand what this bill is about. The bill requires the Department of Transportation to use a federal systematic alien verification for entitlement system. It's called SAVE, or any successor program if they change to a different provider or a different program, to verify the citizenship and immigration status of each person who applies for insurance or renewal of issuance or renewal of a driver's license or a non-operator's ID card who does not provide proof that the person is a U.S. citizen. The bill also prohibits the DOT from issuing a driver's license to a non-operator ID card if the person does not provide proof of citizenship or proof of legal immigration status. So that basically, in a short synopsis, gives us an idea of what this bill is about. I think first of all, if it's okay with the senators, we'll kind of go around the room here, who's here and any ideas or any thoughts and who you represent. So we'll start back here and then we'll go around this way and end up over here.
I'm Matt Chapman.
Speak louder too.
I'm Matt Chapman. I'm from Waukee, and I'm just wanting to hear what other people have to say about this book.
Connie Ryan, I'm the Executive Director and Lobbyist for Interfaith Alliance of Iowa. We're registered opposed to the legislation. We have concerns about any legislation that really targets immigrants and doesn't recognize the importance of their commitments to their communities. It's important for people to be able to have driver's licenses and IDs, and so this continues a trend of not allowing that, and I know that's a bigger picture than what this bill does, but our overarching belief is that people should have access to these documents if they are, regardless of their status. And so we oppose the legislation because it continues the narrative that is negative toward people who are immigrants.
Thank you. I'm Jim Carney, and I'm here on behalf of the Iowa Auditors Association. It's a new client for us. We're figuring out what they have an interest in, and since DOT information has been previously used, by them, we thought we would look, listen, and learn today.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Senators. Teresa Harms. I'm here today representing the Iowa Migrant Movement for Justice. I've got some experts here with me that work with these folks on a day-to-day basis, and I'm going to leave it to them to share their expertise and information as to why we are currently opposed to this legislation.
My name is Elizabeth Valcarcel. I work with the Iowa Migrant Movement for Justice as community organizer, and I'm here to listen and say that I'm opposed to this bill.
My name is Laura Mendoza, and I'm here to, I work with Iowa Migrant Movement for Justice, and I'm here to give you my opinion about this. Oh, I can do it now? Okay, I didn't know. Thank you. My name is Laura Mendoza. I work for Iowa Migrant Movement for Justice as a legal representative. I work with victims of crimes, especially victims and survivors of domestic abuse, sexual assault. As a result, as a legal representative, I assist clients in filling out applications for U visas. And you might know what is U visas, but if you don't know, I will let you know. U visas, also known as EU non-immigrant status, is available for victims of certain serious crimes in United States, such as domestic abuse, sexual assault, human trafficking, and other ones. um, who have suffered substantial physical and mental abuse and are willing to cooperate with the law enforcement in the investigation and prosecution of the crime. These visas provide temporary legal status, employment authorization, and a path to legal permanent residency. While they are waiting for their cases to be approved, U visa applicants are issued employment authorization documents, EADs, valid for 2 years and sometimes 4 years. Due to the long processing times, many applicants must renew their work authorization multiple times. Even after their U visa cases are approved, they move forward to the next step in still long-term processing. They often wait several additional years for permanent residency. If during this time my clients go to the Department of Transportation to renew their drive license and are told that they cannot do so because of the error in the system shared between the Department of State um, and the federal governments, um, there can be severe consequences with my clients. They are unable to, usually they will be unable to renew their drive license for weeks and even for months, preventing them from taking their children to school, traveling to work, and in some cases, clients may even lose their jobs simply because they are unable to drive legally. SSB 3024 will extremely affect survivors who are already experiencing significant hardship. At this moment, it's very hard to renew the drive license with a system that the DOT have in place, and with this safe system will be worse.
Similarly, my name is Jocelyn Medina, and I'm here representing and with the organization Iowa Migrant Movement for Justice, and I'm here to also listen and possibly share the experiences of the communities we serve.
I'm Erica Johnson. I'm the Executive Director of Iowa Migrant Movement for Justice, and as you've heard, we're against the bill. It would create a new requirement for the DOT to use the faulty federal SAVE system, SAVE program, to verify a person's citizenship and immigration status when they apply for or renewing a driver's license or non-operator's ID card in Iowa. The bill does nothing to improve road safety. It doesn't prevent fraud or verify a person's immigration status. We see this bill as a tool to expand a false narrative about supposed voter fraud by non-citizens in Iowa in order to undermine Iowa's confidence in our elections. Three main points is that the bill is redundant and unnecessary under the current DOT standards. So Iowa already complies with federal real ID requirements, which require proof of identity and lawful status in the US to obtain a driver's license or state ID. The DOT already verifies citizenship status through documentation and databases requiring valid US citizenship through USCIS, Citizenship and Immigration Services. They check the paperwork prior to issuing an ID. And then regarding the federal database SAVE, states have discontinued using the SAVE program to verify immigration status of individuals registering to vote when eligible voters were incorrectly flagged as ineligible. And the USGAO has reported that the recourse mechanisms that are available to correct inaccurate information were ineffective and unlikely to enable individuals to make timely record corrections, which means people are going to miss out on the chance to vote. And then lastly, just our view is that the bill perpetuates the myth of non-citizen voting. So it's already illegal for non-citizens to vote in federal or state elections in the US, and there's no evidence that non-citizens are voting in significant numbers despite claims. In 2024, Iowa's Secretary of State found that out of 1.6 million Iowans who voted in the 2024 election, just 35 ballots were cast by non-citizens. That's 0.002% of voters. So what we would like to see coming out of the State House is, rather than focusing on a non-existent problem and blaming immigrants, we would really like to see Iowa legislators take up issues that Iowans are really concerned about and are actual problems in our state. Things like water quality, things like the increasing cancer rates in our state, and things like investing in our public schools.
Hi, my name is Susan Fenton, and I'm with the Iowa Department of Transportation. We already require proof of U.S. citizenship or proof of lawful presence in the U.S., and we use the federal SAVE program for non-citizens. So as far as any impact on motor vehicle division, as far as money that would be required, we already do it. So I just wanted to make that clear. I have house transportation in a little bit, and I may run out.
No, you're not allowed. So let's go online. I think if you want to comment, or if you have a comment and you want to speak, go ahead and raise your hand, and then we will recognize you. I'll give you about 10 more seconds here. If you're like me, even though I'm the vice chair of tech, I still have trouble finding that hand. All right, I see no other hands coming up, so we'll go ahead and go to the senators. Senator Winkler, you have the floor.
Sure, thank you. And thank you for the information. I also went right to the fact that this is used for voter verification as well. And I've served as on the subcommittees for a lot of the Secretary of State bills and in regard to voting. While you are here, Susan, I have a question in regard to it's already referenced that they use databases of DOT. Why do we need to put this in your code? If you wouldn't mind answering that question.
You just want to come here, or do you want? People online want to hear you, so I'm going to shut your thing off here.
I do believe the bill also says that if SAVE is no longer required, another system should be used. So I think, I'm not sure what the author of the bill wanted, but it's in there. So I don't know.
Okay, all right, thank you. So it's my understanding that DOT has used databases over the years, and it is not. Thank you. It is not in their code. They didn't have to have permission to use that database. It is also referenced in the Secretary of State language that they would be using databases from the DOT, and I don't see why we need to put it in code. It's interesting that it comes right after the verification for to serve in the military in the transportation code. The other thing that I recall from the conversation about the databases when we talked to the Secretary of State in regard to voting, and I know that for many of you, driving is just as important as gaining the ability to vote. But the auditors have said that the DOT status can be out of date because once an individual becomes a citizen, they don't necessarily immediately change their driver's license. And it could be as much as 7 years in arrear. Now, I don't know with the SAVE how often that might be updated, but if they are citizens, we want to make sure that this database doesn't prevent a citizen from being registered and exercising their right to vote as well. And I have heard, but I would love to have some more information as to the mistakes that other states have found with the SAVE program and the data the inaccuracy of the data, that if you have anything to share in regard to that, because not only is the right to drive important, but also it is so significantly related to the right to vote and the checks and balances that the auditors place on assuring that you are who you say you are and you live where you say you live. With the right to vote, that I just think that the unintended consequences of this being placed in code, as well as uh, the connection to voting, is also a concern with me, and I just don't have enough information as to what those unintended consequences might be.
Thank you, Senator Winkler. Senator Webster.
I would say it's interesting that we're making sure that we're having some sort of backup system if the SAFE system isn't there. I'm looking forward to digging in more to the SAFE system on error rates, as we're looking at error rates across many other areas, to learn more about that and have the conversation moving forward on those particular error rates.
Thank you. I guess I just want to ask a question too of Susan, if you've got the ability to answer this question. But driver's license, which we've been hearing a lot of, I don't know if it's false or not, that some of these people that are in the accidents, they shouldn't have their driver's license. I don't know if that's true or false or whatever you would say it is. But apparently they did not legally get their driver's license if it would be the state of Iowa. Does this also include chauffeur licenses? And, I mean, is this also help keep that problem out of Iowa of companies, backing people that do not have citizenship, that they are now driving 18-wheelers across our state or into other states? Do we use that verification to make sure that we're not giving illegal people that are here illegally the ability to have chauffeurs licenses?
In order to work in Iowa and drive a semi, you need a CDL from Iowa. If you live in Iowa, you need a license from Iowa. You don't necessarily have to live in Iowa. You could live in Nebraska, but if you're doing work here, you need to have that. I would also say there's a lot of people that drive with suspended licenses all the time.
Just don't get caught.
So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, kind of. The other thing is too that I know at a certain period of time, I think all the U.S. citizens were supposed to get a Gold Star license. I mean, I think they moved that back a little bit. So even citizens have to show that they are citizens. So I really can't see that that's any type of discrimination when a citizen actually has to show they're a citizen, when we're asking everyone to show that they're a citizen. And I think what Senator Webster said as well, that I think this is also codifying in code that if we do lose the SAFE system, if there's another system that comes along, that then will be used as a new system. And the way it sounds is this system is an old system, and a lot of people think it doesn't work properly. So maybe it is time that Iowa and the U.S. looks at a different type of system that is more up to date. I mean, with the computers and things that we have now, we should be able to really get things quickly, and it should be shared quickly as well. So with that, and also I believe what Senator Winkler said too, I think there's a lot of information here that, I'm willing to dig into, and we can find out more information on this and why actually we're doing this. But I think the biggest part is what Senator Webster says: if we lose the SAFE system, which it sounds like we probably should, then the next system that comes in, we want to make sure it's in code that we are going to be able, or are going to be forced to use that program to check the status. Also here it says to verify the citizenship and immigration status. So status might be you have a visa. It might be you have a work visa. It might be, it doesn't mean you're a citizen. I just was at the inauguration, I don't know what you call it, immigration. I hired a girl that works for me from gosh, I can't think of shows you how much I pay attention, but from a different country. And she just was legalized just last week. My wife and I attended her legalization ceremony. And so now she's a U.S. citizen. And one of the things that she said right away to me was, I need to go get my driver's license changed. And I need a Gold Star driver's license. So you know what? We're required to do it. Everyone should be required to do it. And it shouldn't be 7 years. If it does, it falls on that person that they're just not doing their job of being a U.S. citizen. So with that being said, I know you have raised your hand. I know you might have one other comment, but we'll end it.
So it's my understanding that the SAVE program is a federal government program, and I thought the reason this was a bill is to tie into it, but if the federal government program is not kept up to date, being specific about that program and not general about any database that would identify a status might be more important than actually putting save in code. I don't know, again, why we are doing this, if it has been done over several years in verifying citizenship, why we have to now put it in code versus it not being in code previously. It is referenced in voter registration that you have databases with the Department of Transportation. So I'm not sure why this needs to be done now and what those unintended consequences might be.
Okay, thank you. I think that sums up everything. I will be signing, Senator Webster. Yep. And Senator Winkler. Okay, so we'll be moving this on to committee. Thanks for everybody's participation. I hope we didn't miss anybody online. It looks like we still don't have any hands up. So thank you.